Yeah, good evening. Back with our classes on why do we fall ill. I think we have to start from distinction between healthy and disease-free. If this is what we mean by health, what do we mean by disease? The word is actually self-explanatory. It's things of which we can think as disease or disturbed ease. Please underline. Disease means dis-ease. When you are not at ease, you are diseased. Disease, in other hand, literally means being uncomfortable. However, the word used in more limited meaning, we talk of a disease when we can find a specific and a particular cause for discomfort. This does not mean that we have come to know the absolute final cause. We can say that someone is suffering from diarrhea when you eat gobi from outside, okay? Without knowing exactly what has caused the loose motions. All of you know what would have caused the loose motion most of the time. How much you ate, where you ate, what you ate. But after coming home, you act very naive and you say, oh, I don't know what happened. I didn't eat anything from outside.
Amma won't leave if we tell.
Amma won't leave if we tell. So, the problem lies that you had diarrhea because Amma won't leave. Isn't it? You ate, right? So, we can now easily see that it is possible to be in poor health without actually suffering from a particular disease. Simply not being diseased is not the same as being healthy. If I am not at comfort, I do not mean I am healthy. If I am at comfort, I do not mean I am healthy. I may be in all the comfort zones, but still I may not be healthy. Because what health? Mental health also is a part of being healthy. So when I talk about healthiness or when I talk about health, I talk about a complete health, which includes what? Physical health, social health and mental health. And it is not that I can alone be healthy, it is that I should be healthy only if I live in what environment? A healthy environment. So the society around me also should be good, competitive and healthy. Okay. On the other, good health for a dancer means, for a dancer, good health means being able to stretch his body into difficult but graceful position. On the other hand, good health for a musician means having enough breathing capacity to his or her lungs to control the notes from his or her flute. But Pradhanya, good health for Pradhanya means hands should be in good condition. The screen of the mobile should be clean and laptop. Eyes should be easy to see. Flute and all is secondary. And he should be immediately able to hear his mother coming into the room and immediately change the screen. Isn't it? So these are good health for Pradhanya and other people who play mobile games. But Pradhanya is a good flutist also. So all this also breathing capacity and all should matter. But I think that is secondary. Even when his flute teacher is teaching him online, in between he will be playing on one side screen. Because that flute teacher will tell, you play, then someone else he will play. By that time Pradhanya will finish off one game. Yes or no? No. Because he also learns with you, the elder one. That is right. So we can be in poor. To have the opportunity to realize the unique potential in all of us is also necessary for real health. So we can be in poor health without there being a simple cause in the form of an identifiable disease. See, sometimes, now at least the country is woken up to mental health and we have a lot of foundations and people talking about mental health. But children suddenly suffer from depression. They will have everything. They will have good parents, they will have enough money, they will have good grades. Suddenly something would trigger in them and they will start becoming sick. And you will find them hale and hearty, but mentally they may be having some pain. Some kind of thing which they cannot relate. And sometimes nobody would have told them. They themselves will build it up. I am not good looking, I won't eat, I will become thin like someone else, or all those things. See, Kareena Kapoor, Karishma Kapoor, or any Sen or Aishwarya Rai may be looking good on the screen, but how they are at home do we know? And can we afford the same luxuries as them? No. We have to cook our own food, we have to do our own work. So you cannot simply keep aiming or looking at someone whom we cannot realize or share the common factors with. There are a lot of girls who do not eat when they come to a adolescent age because they want to look very thin and they think that no guy will like us. No guy will like us. तो वो कौन है भाई? वो तुम्हारा हंसाती है ना एक मोटी लड़की हिंदी में, भारती or someone is there now in comedy circus or something, that motu ladki comes. She is also married. She is super moti. She is so cute, goal. She is so all that. Huh? Hindi program. I don't know dance show and all. In Kapil Sharma show and all, she used to come before. Now I don't know. Now also she'll come. So sometimes, although you may be healthy in all physical parameters, but if you're not healthy from your brain, from your mind, you have some emotional setback. That is why when you start crying at this age, your parents will ask you multiple times, what happened? What happened? Because they don't want any, suppressed feeling in you. In some houses, there is a comparison between the elder and the younger one. But in most of the houses now, parents have lost hope with the younger one. They know they will do something. And we all know that even if you don't read, the younger ones I tell you, even if they don't read sometimes, they know nothing great is going to happen. 10th hidkodona, ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗಾದ್ರೂ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗೇ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ, that is the logic. Okay, when it comes to 10th, they know that you people are the ones who will study only during the end. So they will catch you only towards the end. And they will say, okay. Whereas the elder one who is supervising, he will look at his mother and say, you are so partial. You tortured me every day of my life when I was in 10th. But see how loose you have left him. But mother knows that the elder one still will move or change if we tell. The younger ones are like that, I don't care attitude, You keep telling anything, and ulta argue madodu. So because all three here are younger ones sitting, so all three will be experiencing the same thing at home. So in some houses the younger ones are very productive, very creative, and the elder ones are not. And generally, how much ever as parents we tell that we don't compare, but sometimes during the day, one statement will definitely be there. Some good or bad comparison will be there, but you get lots of benefit because you are the younger sibling. You don't get stressed because the elder one is always there. Like in my house, when I used to shout at him in 9th, my elder fellow used to tell, who sees 9th card marks card? Tell no. Where do you show 9th card marks card? Only you will see, don't shout at him. Leave him to chill. Okay, my elder one, when my younger one gets scolded, my elder one will come and cover him like a shield. Don't scold him. Okay. In my house, the elder one is very protective. So coming back to what we were talking, it is not that, sometimes some children get affected even by this kind of comparison. But when we were all small and we were 3 or 4 or 5 siblings, already I had only 3 siblings, there was no point, and we were hit. If parents didn't hit us, brothers and sisters never left a chance to hit. We were hit so beautifully and glorifyingly that we never went back and cried. And even when the elder one hits and I go back and cry to my mother, she will say, settle your own scores. She wouldn't interfere. But now, with a very nuclear family and 2 kids, there is a lot of hangama, and there is a deep-rooted feeling in many houses that my mother only likes the younger one, doesn't like the elder one, or likes the elder one, does not like the younger one. These are all silly logics with which you spoil your mind at a particular age. Because after 17, 18 or 19 years, all of you are going to go in different ways. And the time what you are spending now with your elder brothers or sisters, you will never get it back. And probably when you have children and all of you have one kid, you will not find that, that happiness of sharing or eating or fighting for a chocolate and enjoying, which is sometimes fun. In my house, if my elder one comes from Bangalore and he doesn't find the younger one, no, he'll be sad. Because ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಅವನಿಗೊಂದು ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏಟು ಹೊಡೆಯೋದು, ಅವನಿಗೇನೋ ಎಳೆಯೋದು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಾಲು ಎಳೆಯೋದು, ಅವನು ತಿಂತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಎಳೆದ್ಬಿಡೋದು. That is what is fun for him. Okay, if he doesn't do that, उसका खाना हजम नहीं होगा बड़े वाले का. And in the end, when Chotu is sleeping and all, he will go and he will stand and go. I said, till now you were making him shout no, he says, no, Amma, see, Kapi is sleeping so silently. Adrallu eno hellebeku. He likes him, but he will not show him. Hogta, barta, pata, beelta irutte. So as a result of it, all this helps to make you healthy. If for some time you find that your elder siblings or your parents or your mother in particular, whom you hate and you think that every time she shouts, if she goes out for 3 months now, then you really realize the importance of your mother, because you cannot stay with your dad or your grandparents alone. Amma acts as a buffer. She takes up everybody's gali, problems, and keeps you in good spirit. Okay? So, what is essential is being healthy, being disease free is not only required for being healthy, even being very mentally healthy, being happy is what keeps you disease free. Okay? Now, so we can be in poor health without there being a simple cause in the form of an identifiable disease. This is the reason why when we think about health, we think about societies and communities. On the other hand, when we think about disease, we think about individual sufferers. So health is in a larger perspective, in a global perspective when it comes to COVID-19. We are all in a disease state because of this pandemic everywhere all over the world. But when I am talking about suffering, if I have COVID, I have to isolate myself, and whatever I feel, I will only suffer. So disease is individual, whereas health is for society and communities. Okay? State any 2 good conditions essential for good health. Barili, answer. State any 2 good conditions essential for good health. Yenappa first condition?
Good hygienic food.
Hygienic food first utane idakke. Okay, bariyappa first. Nutritious food. Availability of clean and nutritious food. Availability of clean and nutritious food. Second, clean surrounding and better sanitation. Clean surrounding and better sanitation. Sanitation andre drainage, all that thing should be, snana vana should be good. State any 2 conditions essential for being free of disease. What are the 2 conditions? Taking balanced diet first. And what should I maintain? Personal and public hygiene. I should not litter outside. I should keep my surroundings clean. Maintaining personal and public hygiene. A third question based too, because nobody will ask. Are the answers to the above question necessarily the same or different? Idya?
Yes.
Necessarily the same or different? Nearly the same, necessarily the same illa, nearly the same, but what happens is when you are writing the second one, you are trying to be talking about even public health and like society and community is also being involved. So third condition not required, or the third question not required. Okay? Maintaining personal and public hygiene. They nearly the same, but they are interconnected. Both the questions are interconnected. What does disease look alike or look like? Let us now think of a little more about diseases. In the first place, how do we know that there is a disease? In other words, how do we know that there is something wrong with the body? There are many tissues in the body, as we have seen in the chapter 6. These tissues make up physiological systems or organ systems that carry out body functions. Each of the organ system has a specific organ as its part and has a particular function. So the digestive system has the stomach and intestine. It helps to digest food taken in from outside the body. The musculoskeletal system, which is made up of bones and muscle, holds the body parts together and helps the body to move. When there is a disease, either the functioning or the appearance of one or more systems of the body will change for the worse. These changes will give rise to symptoms or signs of disease. So, if I am having a disease, first thing what I should look? Symptoms of disease. When I go to the doctor first asks me, what is happening to you? Then I tell him the symptoms. So, that is called as what treatment? He gives you a symptomatic treatment. That is, symptomatic means nange loose motion aagta ide. That means something is wrong with my digestive system. So what food I ate? How can I make it better? Take only curd. Eat only curd rice. Don't eat any spices. And drink hot water. All these things will be asked. If you have gone to loose motions multiple times, you will be dehydrated. So they will tell you to either drink ORS, glucose or any such thing so that your fluid content in the body can be maintained. So how do we know we have a disease? When we talk about its signs or symptoms. Symptoms of the disease are the things we feel as being wrong. So we have a headache, we have a cough, we have loose motions, we have a wound with a pus. These are all symptoms. These indicate that there may be a disease, but they don't indicate what disease. For example, a headache may be just examination stress, or very rarely it may mean meningitis or any one of dozen different diseases. Meningitis andre enu? Brain fever. Barkodi. Meningitis means brain fever. Signs of diseases are what physicians will look for on the basis of symptoms. Signs will give a little more definite indication of the presence of a particular disease. Physicians will get laboratory tests done to pinpoint the disease further. So, first thing is, if I am reporting that I have a disease, first thing I will get is what? Symptoms of disease. And then this symptoms will show as certain signs in my body, and these signs this will commonly indicate what kind of disease I may have, which can be further confirmed by what test? By lab test. Artha. So when I talk about a disease, I am actually looking at the symptoms of disease. The symptoms, when they start, it is in the form of a symptom, but when it slightly aggregates, it becomes signs of that particular disease. These signs pinpoint at a particular disease, and that is confirmed by the doctor after doing what test? Confirmatory lab test. If I have irritation in my throat, I have cough, I have fever, I may have a normal viral fever, or I may even have COVID. So what they will do? They will ask certain signs that do you have this, and finally they will do what test? Lab test, and they will give me the report within 2 days and say that no, it is a normal viral flu, stay at home, eat well and you will be fine. But if there is a COVID, then they will tell me to isolate myself and take proper medication and rest. So first thing, if I have disease, I will show symptoms of a particular disease, which will finally pinpoint the signs of the disease, and which the doctor will confirm what disease I have by laboratory test. Even Barcodia, a part. Done? Yeah. Now, acute and chronic diseases. This is very, very important. The manifestation of disease will be different depending on a number of factors. One of the most obvious factors that determine how we perceive the disease is its duration. Some diseases last only for very short periods of time and are called what? Acute diseases. But we all know from experience that the common cold lasts only for few days. Other ailments can last for a long time, even as much as a lifetime, and these are called chronic diseases. For example, elephantiasis, which is what elephantiasis means, the feet swells like elephant. Okay, it becomes big and bulgy. So it is very common in some parts of India. If it happens, it is due to a worm. So if it happens, it stays all through your life. Okay, so what did we study? First classification of disease. Barcode. The first classification of disease is based on its duration. The first classification of disease is based on what? On duration. How long it stays with us. If it stays for a very short period of time, if it stays for a very short period of time, then it is called what disease? Acute disease. And if it stays for long durations of time, or it stays throughout the lifetime, it is called what disease? Chronic disease. Like diabetes, thyroid, obesity, they are all what diseases? Chronic diseases. Viral fever, common cold, these are all what diseases? Acute diseases. Because you have it only for very short period of time. Okay? Typhoid, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, these are diseases, acute diseases, because they bacterial infection, viral infection, whatever you have, it will be there only for very short period of time. After that, when you have it all through your lifetime, it is called what diseases? Chronic diseases. Some skin ailments also stay with you all through your life. So they also become what diseases? Chronic diseases. Okay. Survey your neighborhood to find out. Elephantiasis underline ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಿಡಿ. Elephantiasis is what disease? Chronic disease. How many people suffered from acute diseases during the last 3 months? ಈಗ ಯಾರನ್ನಾದ್ರೂ ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬಾಗಿಲ ತೆಗೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. Okay. How many people developed chronic diseases during the same period? Generally, if you have old 60, they will have one or the other chronic disease. Maybe diabetes, maybe blood pressure, maybe severe acute respiratory infection, which they may be having from asthma, something like that. So it happens, for a long period of time. So that is called as what disease? Chronic disease. Are the answers to question 1 and 2 are different? Yes. Why do you think may be the reason? What do you think would affect the differences of the general health of the population? Now, when I talk about chronic diseases, I also talk about poor health. Chronic diseases, why do I get a chronic disease? Malnutrition. I would be staying in a not good environment. Maybe my immunity would have become weak because I am not taking a balanced diet. Okay, or maybe, I would have had some disease which would be an acute disease, but it would have relapsed, like typhoid, paratyphoid, or jaundice. If I don't take care properly, my liver gets damaged, and finally I will have what? And chronic liver disease. Okay? Chronic diseases and poor health. As we can imagine, acute and chronic diseases have different effect on our health. Any disease that causes poor functioning of some part of the body will affect our general health as well. This is because all functions of body are necessary for general health. But an acute disease, which is over very soon, will not have to cause major effects on general health, while a chronic disease do so. See, if one day my leg gets hurt and I say there is some ligament there, I will take rest because I know after 20 days I can again go and play football. Correct? But if my leg is broken and I completely put a rod, that time I know, no, now I can't play football for my life. So what exactly happens is, if it is only for a short period of time, the entire body metabolism will join to heal that organ, and they will say, okay, abhi bimar hai, rehne do. But if it is everyday affair, then the entire functioning of the body gets affected. As an example, think about cough and cold, which we all have from time to time. Most of us get better and become well within a week or so. Initially, ಈಗ ನೆಗಡಿ ಕೆಮ್ಮಲು ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾಸ್ಕು ವಾಸ್ಕು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನೀವೇನು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗಡಿ ಕೆಮ್ಮಲು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮೂಗು ಸುರಿತಾನೂ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀರಪ್ಪ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಒಂದು ಖರ್ಚಿಫ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಒರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಪಕ್ಕದವರು ಅಕ್ಕದವ್ರು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬೈಯೋರ, ಯಾರು ಬೈತೀರಿ? ಅವ್ರ ಮುಖಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕ್ಷಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೈಯೋರು. ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ nobody used to blame. Then even if you sneeze and bring that beautiful thing out also, the teacher would have sent you, go wash yourself and come. Because first, second, third standards, once or the other you would have done all that nonsense and come. Not now, because now you are grown up. Okay, so generally, and particularly if you have cold and cough and you have monthly test, parents would definitely take you for the test, make you write the test and bring you back. But in COVID times, if you say she has cough and I want to write test, the whole school will shut up and says you please don't come, stay at home. Isn't it? So what happens is, if cough and cold is there, we know it is going to go after 10 days or 12 days. So what we do, drink hot water, take precautions, take steam, you are made to drink that arshnadhalu and all that stuff, ginger, or to lick honey and pepper, and all those home remedies are done. So nowadays though, for cold and cough, initially for a long period of time, your parents would give nothing, no medication was given, isn't it? But now if you say cold and cough, all medications will be given to you so that you don't spread it to the others. There are no bad effects on our health. We do not lose weight. Actually, when you have cold and cough, no, you eat cold. When you have no, you eat more because you can't smell. So you like to eat more because simply sitting doing nothing, no. So chalo, something I'll eat. This is also not smelling. That is also not smelling. So everything you will taste when you have cold. Okay, we do not become short of breath. We do not feel tired all the time because a few days of cough and cold. Generally, if you have a submission in school and you haven't done that work, that day you will tell you have cough, cold, headache. Otherwise, even if there's a football match, even in cold and cough, you will not tell at home and you will go and play. But if we get infected with a chronic disease such as tuberculosis of the lung, then being ill over the years does make us lose weight and feel tired all the time. So tuberculosis is what disease? Chronic disease. Common cold and cough are what disease? Acute diseases. So examples were called two examples of chronic disease. Two examples of chronic diseases were called TB, diabetes, cancer. Acute diseases, generally all viral infections, and common cold, fever, cough. We may not go to school for a few days if we have an acute disease, but a chronic disease will make it difficult for us to follow what is being taught in school and reduce our ability to learn. In other words, we are likely to have prolonged general poor health if I have a chronic disease. Chronic disease therefore has very drastic long-term effects on people's health as compared to acute diseases. Chronic disease, another example is asthma, which happens to very small children. Okay, so nowadays happens. But if you have asthma, bronchitis and all, the child will not be, if he has got cough and cold, he cannot concentrate because of breathing difficulty irutte. And if he becomes angry and becomes very irritated, he will get a spasm and he will get a panic, a wheezing attack. And immediately he need to be given his puff so that his oxygen level and the saturation level increases. So those children have to be really treated by the classmate, by the teacher, and even by parents very diligently and very nicely. whenever the child has got asthma, CBSE schools in particular, because I studied in a government CBSE school, Kendriya Vidyalaya, the principal in the Hindu, all teachers, his person who is sitting beside him will also be told, because you don't know sometimes, when they are very small in second and third standard, they would not know how to use it. I will only tell you my case. When I was in 4th or 5th, I remember one of my classmates had very bad asthma, and he used to get that cylinder with that puff machine, inhaler, and we had never seen something like that. Okay, so we were all super excited to see that, and that also it was not an Indian make, I remember, because Indian makes did not have all that machine kind of thing which now comes. I am talking about when I was in 5th. So he had got it from somewhere, and that had medicine. And for all of us, it was a fun to open it and press it. Because we also were small and we didn't know what we were doing. So every day, we used to be perfect. Whomsoever irritated. And then one day the principal came to know, and we were all slapped to glorifying levels. Because out of 50 children, out of 35 children in a class, I think 30 used that puff. Luckily, we did not, that fellow didn't get any attack. If he would have got attack, there was no liquid in it, because we have already puffed it off everything outside, and not we have put it on somebody's eyes, somebody's hair, somebody's head, because we as kids didn't know the use of it, and nobody in the house had. So we didn't knew the effectiveness, and we never read the whole thing, because in 5th, 6th and all, nobody likes to read big chunks. We don't know how to read anta mugistive. So as a result of it, lot of times it is essential that you tell people, if children are suffering from chronic diseases, you have to tell and educate the people around you so that you are in safe hand. Okay? Please write a question. Why is chronic disease associated with poor health? Why is chronic disease associated with poor health? Answer ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. If we get infected with a chronic disease such as tuberculosis of the lung, then being ill over the years does make us lose weight and feel tired all the time. Then come to the next part. We are likely to have prolonged general poor health if we have a chronic disease. Chronic diseases therefore, last paragraph, last lines. Therefore, chronic diseases have very drastic long-term effect on people's health as compared to acute diseases. Gotaita? So chronic disease is always associated with poor health, whereas acute disease, one second.
Yes.
So now we will talk about causes of disease. What causes disease? When we think about causes of disease, we must remember that there are many levels of such causes. Let us look at an example. If there is a baby suffering from loose motion, we can say that the cause of the loose motion is an infection with a virus. So the immediate cause of the disease is virus. But the next question is, where did the virus come from? Suppose we find that the virus came from unclean drinking water, but many babies must have had this unclean drinking water. So why is that one baby developed loose motions when the other babies did not? It happens most of the time. Pradhanya and Skandan went in front of the temple and ate gobi from that gobi fellow. But Skandan didn't get loose motion, but Pradhanya got. So why did it happen? Pradhanya ate more and Skandan ate less? No, because Pradhanya's immune system is less, as he does not do any work at home. Only sits and plays and sleeps. So the... You will do every work. Nothing he does. He doesn't even remember what time to come to class. If Skandan doesn't reach his house, Pradhanya is not coming. Correct, no? Yeah. That happened after Dasara vacations or something, no? Before Dasara vacations.
Before Dasara.
Before Dasara. One reason might be that this baby is not healthy. That baby's name is Pradanya. Okay. As a result, it might be more likely to have disease when exposed to this, whereas healthier babies would not. Why is the baby not healthy? Perhaps because it is not well nourished. Illappa, sakkar nourished idare. Well nourished and does not get enough food. So lack of good nourishment becomes the second level cause of the disease the baby is suffering from. Further, why this baby is not well nourished? Because it is from a household which is poor. It is also possible that the baby has some genetic difference that makes it more likely to suffer from loose motions when exposed to such a virus. Without the virus, the genetic difference of poor nourishment alone would not lead to loose motion. But they do become what cause? Contributory cause of the disease. Why was there no clean drinking water for the baby? Because public services are poor where the baby's family lives. So poverty or lack of public services becomes third level cause of the baby's disease. It will now be obvious that all diseases have immediate causes and contributory causes. Also, most diseases will have many causes rather than one single cause. So please write. What are the two important causes of disease? What are the two important causes of disease? What are the two important causes of disease? What are the two important causes of the disease? Immediate cause and contributory cause. Immediate cause and contributory cause. Okay, and we will take infectious and non-infectious causes